But I told you that we'd be joined by a gentleman in the first hour who's done his thing in the NBA. You're doing your thing in the music realm as well. I'm pretty sure that you're very familiar with this gentleman's face. He goes by the name of Daniel Booby Gibson. How are you today, good sir?
I'm good, man.
Appreciate your time. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. We're going to talk about a lot of things that you have going on. Of course, your NBA career, your journey into the NBA. You're doing things with music, of course, so we're going to dive into that. You were recently on Love and Hip Hop, so we'll talk to you about the reality show and how everything came about with that. But talk to me about your NBA experience. You were drafted by the Cleveland Cavaliers in 2006. So you played in the league for a great amount of time, and during your time, you also played with a cat who a lot of people say is one of the greats, so one of the greatest to play, in LeBron James. You played with him when he was very young in his career. He was only in the league about 3 years when you came into the Cleveland Cavaliers.
I like to take credit for his first trip to the finals. You know what I'm saying? I played a big role in that.
You were a member of that finals team right there against the San Antonio Spurs. So talk to me about your journey into the NBA, coming out of Houston, Texas, your journey in high school. I know you were one of the top players in the country at the high school level when you were in high school. Then, of course, in the collegiate level, you did your thing as well. Talk to me about your journey into the NBA, then talk to me about the Cleveland Cavaliers and playing with LeBron James.
Well, for me, man, I probably from when I was about 8 to 10, I kind of knew that I had like a skill level or that it was possible for me to do big things. Cause I started putting big numbers up real early, and so. But at the same time, I was always still writing with that pen too. So that was it was a marriage the whole time. It was just that basketball was just where I knew my bread was gonna get buttered. And then when I went to the University of Texas, my first year, I was gonna come out my first year, and then LaMarcus Aldridge, who's a good friend of mine, he tore his hip up. And so I told him, you know what I'm saying, we came together, we gonna lead together. So I stayed for that second year.
That's real.
God willing, the Cavs, when I worked out for the Cavs, it was my second workout. I only worked out for the Rockets and the Cavs. If the Cavs was my second workout, I shut it down after that because I felt like that was the best place for me. That would suit my ability the best. And then I had like one of the best workouts I could ever have against some of the players that ended up getting picked in front of me. Like I think it was me, Kyle Lowry, Rajon Rondo, guys that, you know, are high profile players. And so that's when I got picked. And then when I got the opportunity to play with Bron, that just changed the game for me, because not only is he one of the greatest players of all time, he's probably the greatest teammate of all time in terms of like how much better he makes everybody around him. And so I was just blessed with that opportunity. And like I said, you know what I'm saying, I had the opportunity to go to the finals my rookie year. So I got to experience that playing at a high level, the highest level my first year. And from that point on, man, I was just blessed. Unfortunately, like my NBA career was like hit with a lot of injuries, and that's what I probably regret the most about it. But everybody got their journey, and I feel like without those injuries, I wouldn't be where I am right now, being able to affect the world with my music and my writing as well. So it all happened for a reason.
I respect that. I respect that. About the NBA, now, the NBA has changed a lot from when you were there, when you were playing in the NBA to now. You see the three ball being shot more than ever right now. What are your thoughts on where the game is today?
I love where it's at. You know what I'm saying? That's what I was known for, knocking that three ball down. You know what I'm saying? I wish I could participate, but one thing I did want to dispel was that rumor of me stopping playing basketball to do music. It wasn't a okay, I'ma just stop hooping to rap. It was more about my body just when I broke my ankle. I mean, prayers go to Gordon Hayward. What happened last night, it wasn't that bad, but I tore a tendon on the side of my ankle, and so it never allowed me to get that same push off that ankle. So my jump shot didn't feel the same no more. Running didn't feel the same no more. Jumping didn't feel the same no more. And so for people to think that I stopped balling to rap when you could do both, I didn't really like how that felt or like how that sounded. So I like to dispel that rumor and say that there was a time when I stopped balling where I went through a lot trying to figure out what I was gonna do. And at that time, my pen pretty much like saved my life. You know what I'm saying? It gave me some competition. It gave me something to do that gave me the same adrenaline rush that the finals and making jump shots gave me.
So talk to me about the music, because you know, you just put me on to something. You taught me something saying when you were in high school, you were an elite athlete, but the pen was there. You were writing it at that level. So were you a cat that was into poetry, and then you start, you know, converting those into rap lyrics and whatnot? How did that all come about? That's
exactly what happened. Now I'm able to chop it up with you, but I wasn't always this vocal. I wasn't always talking. I would just write it down, put it in my book, and go hoop. You know what I'm saying? And so what ended up happening was that I could have went to Texas actually on an academic scholarship too. You know what I'm saying? For my ability to write and do those things. And so once the injuries happened, I needed somewhere to. I had to figure it out, man. I needed something to release, man, because I was literally going crazy. And yeah, it started from me writing poetry. It started from me writing rhymes. I'm actually releasing a children's book coming.
Okay.
Yeah, man. Around Christmas time. It's gonna be a 5-story series.
What's the title?
Called Booby's World.
Okay.
But each title is different. I got Eva the Elephant, Puppies for Sale, like real life. You know how tight I am with my son. So I go to his school and I read these stories to him and they fall in love with him. So I'm finally in a position now to get the books published. So this writing thing is real. You know what I'm saying? It's something that I've been blessed with, man. And so it's a blessing.
Are the books gonna come out as a collective, or are you gonna drop them individually?
They're gonna come out as a collective. I want it to be like something going into the holidays that, you know, I aim for the single fathers, you know what I'm saying, out there, something that they can do with their kids, but it's for all families. And it's been getting a lot of love, so I'm looking forward to the release. I don't have a release date, but it'll be before Christmas.
I'm glad you mentioned fatherhood, and I want you to talk to me a little bit just about that, because you can give it to me from two different perspectives, as an NBA player and as a hip hop artist. You're definitely a well-known figure. You and your family, your child. So talk to me about, you know, being in the spotlight, being an African American father, and just being a hip hop dad. You know.
Well, I mean, to jump on that was part of the reason why I was okay with doing Love and Hip Hop. I felt like it was an opportunity for, you know what I'm saying, me and Keith to show how that we co-parent, even though obviously we don't get along all the time from reading the blogs. Me and her, we kind of bump heads sometimes, but we never let that get in the way of raising our son. And so for me, man, the part of the reason why I got on the show is because I wanted to show that. I wanted to show that factor, because I feel like on the show it's a highly watched show, but you don't really get a lot of stuff out of the show that kids that's watching the show can take and use in life. And so I feel like that was an opportunity for me to affect the culture in a positive way. So that was pretty much the reason why I signed on to do the show.
That's very dope. That's dope. So talk to me, dive into me more this music more. Talk to me about, I know you have a project you're working on. You recently had a new single that dropped with Brooke Valentine. Talk to me a little bit about what you're doing with the music right now.
What Nobody Knows is the record that I dropped with Brooke, and I mean, it's been doing great. If we just talking SoundCloud and Spotify and numbers like that, it's already hit like millions of views and stuff like so without no push. So I'm excited that people are actually giving it an ear, because, you know, initially when they hear the basketball player rap and it's like, oh my God, we got another Kobe, Ron Artest, you know what I'm saying, cats like that who did it for fun, but it wasn't a passion, I don't think. And so, like, for me, it's just been great to see like that transition, people listening to the music, and that song is about my transition. It's about nobody really knowing how I was feeling at that time. And yeah, my project will probably come out. I think I'm gonna wait until next year for the complete project and just keep giving people more of me, like a lot more of me, and then finally put out a project around my birthday in like February. But I'm gonna keep dropping singles. I don't really think it's like a rule to how you do it now. You know what I'm saying? It's just about me. You know what I'm saying? That this with social media, you able to market yourself and do it that way. So that's kind of where I'm at with it, man. I've just been thankful that people have started to embrace the music and allow me to just create freely without so much judgment.
Now, you mentioned the Kobe Bryant, the Ron Artest. I think the whole rappers and as far as being athletes has come a long way, because we see some rappers actually coming out with some dope bars. Yourself, the Dame Lillards, Victor Oladipo, Lou Williams.
Exactly.
What is it gonna take to get y'all to do a collective record or something?
I don't know.
Put an actual track out there. Jay and the Locks used to put things together. You know, you see elite talent coming together.
Right.
Those y'all could put a dope song together.
Nah, I think I'm good with Dame Lillard and Iman Shumpert. Those are two.
Shump is I forgot about Shump.
Those are two that I'm cool with that we. But you know, I don't want to make it a thing like we trying to make people believe that we can rap. You know what I'm saying? I feel like art and rap and music is all an expression, a creative expression, and it shouldn't be like I shouldn't have to not hoop to be able to write a bar. You know what I'm saying? Like, why they gotta box me in just because I can make threes and dribble basketball and think that that's where my brain stopped? Like, I don't understand why they feel I have to be so limited. So again, man, I've just been thankful for it. It's been a long little process for me. It's been about 3 or 4 years of me just continuing to stick with it, and now it's at the point now where I can create and drop music, and it's doing well.
What do you think about the NBA's new formula on how they're going to do the All-Star Game? Like you said, you were playing at the time. You was putting up the 3-point shots before the league is what it is now. And we was talking briefly off air and everything about where the NBA is. Like last night the games was cool, but you saw so many threes put up. So a player like you would shine in today's game. But they switched up how they're going to do the All-Star Game with no more East and West, with the top 2 from the East or the West. So it'll pretty much be a pickup game. Yeah. What are your thoughts on how they've changed that and the new rules in that?
I mean, I don't think making it's gonna be cool to possibly see like Bron and Steph play on the same team, right? But I don't think that was a problem. I think the problem was people just didn't feel like the game was competitive. I think everybody just thought they was out there throwing lobs and shooting threes and nobody was playing defense. So I think it's still gonna be a matter of if they gonna pick teams. I think people still want to see the greatest players in the world like compete. So I think if they do that, it's gonna be what it should be. What
are your thoughts on being as though you played with the Cleveland Cavaliers at one point, the whole super team theory, Charles Barkley, a lot of the older cats who played in the league at some point in time are saying they're not fans of the super teams. If it's only 1 or 2 teams, X, Y, and Z. That's been the story, though, I can think in the NBA for some time. No matter how many All-Stars were on the team, there was only about 3 or 4 dominant teams, and then everybody else was fighting, for an opportunity. Do you think it's some truth or validity into the whole super teams messing up the NBA, or do you think that that's just something that changes with the eras?
Yeah, I think it's some truth to it, but it's just tough because the money's different. You know what I'm saying? You weren't able to put all those guys on the same team, but when they got that new deal maybe 2 or 3 years ago, the new television deal, more money came in, so Kevin was able to go join the Golden State Warriors, and I feel like how can you blame him when his skill set matched that team? Like if you got an opportunity to go join a team and win championships, that's what you play for. Of course, the stars of the league, you want them to want to do it on their own. But at the same time, if Bron go join D Wade and Chris Bosh and they winning championships, you gonna want to compete against that. So you gonna probably, when you got an opportunity to re-up, you gonna join Clay and Steph and try to do the same thing. I do feel like it waters down the league. I think you pretty much know who gonna be in the finals, but at the same time, as a business, you can't blame them men for going to win championships when that's what you play for.
What are you listening to? What's in your iPad? Let me ask you this.
You know what's crazy, man? I just listen to like old school. I don't really listen to like I'm listening to Teddy P. You know what I'm saying? Like I do listen to Black from out here. Okay. That's a bad boy.
Yeah, that boy talented.
That's a bad boy. I like his sound. But like, yeah, I listen because that's kind of how my flow be. Like I gave my flow its own little genre. I call it flow and beat because I listen to like old school. You know what I'm saying? I got a smooth cadence with my flow. So that's pretty much where my ears are. Anita Baker.
Has that changed since you stopped playing as far as NBA ball? Like when you were in the league, were you listening to rap and everything heavy to get you
Absolutely.
in it?
Absolutely, yeah. That's how you get going. Even when I work out, Moneybagg is probably at the top of my list right now. He killing it. That's probably who. Meek, the last one he dropped was hard. Of course, the Migos. So I mean, I pretty much listen to popular music. I ain't really got no hidden gems other than Black. That's my guy.
So we know you're going to be doing a lot more with music. You mentioned that you'll have a new project that'll be dropping possibly around your birthday next year.
For sure.
What else will you have as the year 2017 comes up? Will we see you more on the television? Do you have any plans of possibly diving into the big screen and being in the movie realm in the possible future?
I'm really exploring every avenue, man. I'm not limiting myself. I do have some opportunities on the table. From doing Love and Hip Hop, people seeing me on TV, so I've been getting some offers to possibly appear on different TV shows. Okay. I'm looking at that, and I mean 2017, 2018 is just gonna be consistently me still doing me, man, and that's just whatever God want me to do, and that's even including basketball because the Big Three did well this year, and we actually, me, Keon Doolin, Corey Maggette, we had actually created a league called the Champions League that was similar. It's a 5-on-5 league that plays in like those same like little smaller markets that don't have NBA teams, so you can still see like myself, Mike Bibby, Nate Robinson, Steven Jackson.
That's major.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm really
That's major.
what I try to invest myself in is, as a basketball player, you might have like, if you lucky, 15 years. Let's max everybody out and say you got 15 years. After that 15 years, how many basketball players you know? Maybe your favorite basketball player for the Atlanta Hawks. You know where he at, or how many guys do you be like, damn, I wonder what he up to. I wonder what he doing. So I like to work towards that transition of like when you're done playing basketball. Because when you're playing basketball, they try to tell you, don't think about nothing else. Don't do nothing else. Everything else is a distraction. So for me, man, I'm trying to open up that door for guys who might not get 15 years, who might get 10 years, but be able to transition and still be able to be productive and still be able to make things happen and not just be forgotten and still be active out here. You know what I'm saying? Like that's kind of what I want to embody. That's the barrier that I want to break for a lot of NBA players. I want to show that we not just, it don't stop at basketball. There's a lot more for us to offer.
Before I let you go, it's a different sport, but you're still being a professional athlete. What are your thoughts, if any, on what's been going on in the NFL? You know, the president consistently making comments and coming at the players in the NFL, putting them in a tough bind, and they're also in a tough bind with the NBA owners. Do we kneel? Do they not kneel?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that situation?
I hate it, man. I feel like what Colin is doing is not aggressive at all. He's taking a knee. And he's not taking a knee to disrespect any of the fallen soldiers, or his whole narrative has been, we just want more attention on the innocent people that's getting killed. That's it. All we want to do is have that conversation. But we've turned that conversation into kneeling before the game, or it's disrespect to the flag. But the whole flag is based on freedom. But a lot of us don't feel like we have it, and so I don't like the way the narrative. I do like now that they're having conversations about it, but it's just unfair that the players aren't able to express themselves by taking a knee or demanding change that we all clearly see is necessary. I just don't like the way that our chief is handling that. I don't like the way he handled nothing anyway, but that one, to be more specific.
That was greatly said. Let our viewers who may not know how to follow you, let them know where they can check you on social media so they can stay in tune with your music and everything you have coming up.
Well, Booby Gang, BOOBYGANG is my Instagram. Booby's World 1 is my Twitter. Booby'sWorld.com is the website. And yeah, man, that's where I'm rocking at. That's where you can find me at, the music, everything, man. I drop everything on my social media. And I'm a one-man machine, man. I don't got no label, nothing behind me. I'm just doing the music because I love it. I'm your man, Terrell Thomas, excuse me. We'll be right back here at the desk. Appreciate your time. Appreciate you coming through. Check out these videos. We got a lot more coming up.